Hello, I'm Dr. Bill Webster. Charles Dickens wrote a very famous book, A Tale of Two Cities, which begins with the lines, "It was the best of times and the worst of times." Dickens, of course, was referring to the French Revolution, but perhaps this Christmas you might agree with these words, that for you, this season will be the best of times and the worst of times. December is a month of great celebration. Many cultures and many different religions celebrate in December, whether Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's, and many others. It's usually a festive time, a time of meeting family, a time of great feasts and celebration, and many cultures use the symbol of light. Sometimes we refer to it as the holidays, and there are many wonderful ways of describing it. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, families getting together, Christmas trees, Christmas lights, all kinds of activities that go on in December. It's the most wonderful time of the year, after all, according to the song. But for you, if you've had a significant loss, maybe this season doesn't seem quite so wonderful. It's the season to be jolly, but you feel anything but. The loss of someone we love can be one of the most difficult experiences of life. And no matter when it happened throughout a year, I think this season particularly, we miss the person, and things don't seem just the same. I'm sorry if we're meeting under difficult circumstances, and I'm hoping that in this short video that we can bring some hope and some comfort and maybe some practical suggestions to you as well. I would like to bring you a number of helpful hints on handling the holidays. And the first of these is to realize that this Christmas is going to be different. Previous Christmases, previous seasons, previous holidays have been jolly times, but perhaps not so much this year. I think it's important to remember that, yes, this season will be different. So often we spend so much energy trying to pretend that nothing has happened and trying to do things as if things were as normal. I remember a gentleman coming to one of my grief support groups, and I gave a little talk on coping with the holidays. And he said, I've got this holiday thing beat. He said, on December the 20th, I'm flying to Mexico. I'm going to spend my time on the beach. I'm going to soak in the sun. I'm going to swim in the pool. I'm going to pretend it's summer, and I'm just going to pretend that it's not the holiday season. And I'm not coming back until January the 4th. I wished him well, and off he went. And a month later, when he was back in my group, I said, "How did it work?" He only said a few words, but they were significant words. He said, "They have Christmas in Mexico." We can't escape the fact that this Christmas is different, so we might as well recognize it. So what can we do, if not to have a merry season, to have a meaningful season? I'd like to suggest that one of the things that we need to do is to reduce the pressure, because there's so much pressure around the holiday season. So many gifts to buy, so many activities to attend, so many events that we want to be at with kids or grandkids. And then there's the baking and the preparation for festive dinners. You need to reduce the pressure. You need to find out what you can do and then what you want to do. Maybe previous seasons you've done everything. Well, this year, you need to do what you want to do. I think it's important to leave the words ought and should out of this season, because that's what we often do. We often do things because, we ought to do it, or I should do it. I don't really want to do it. Try to reduce the pressure. Is there someone who can help with preparing the dinner? Is there a bake shop close by where you can buy the mincemeat tarts. Of course they won't be as good as your homemade ones, but it'll reduce the pressure. Or can you delegate some of the responsibility around some of the festive activities? Find ways to reduce the pressure. And perhaps you can do that by reevaluating the traditions. I mean, there are so many things. Trees, lights, cards, gifts. How many things are there that we do around the holiday season? Well, again, ask what you want to do. See if you are doing things because you ought to do them, or because it's the way we've always done them, or if perhaps this year you might just send out a greeting and not worry about writing Christmas cards. Or maybe the kids or grandkids would be satisfied with gifts cards rather than you going through the stress of going to the shopping mall and all the holiday crowds and all of these kinds of things. Reduce the pressure, reevaluate these traditions. Do we do this because we have to, or do we do this because it's meaningful? Keep the meaningful ones, of course, but find ways to reevaluate these things. Redefine your expectations. It won't be the most jolly season of all this year, but can you find ways to make it meaningful? You'll be surprised. So often people anticipate the worst, and then they find that they can have a really meaningful time. I think it's important that you act rather than react. So, what would you like to do? Do you want to be alone for Christmas? Well, if there's one thing I've learned over the years is the fact that people who stay alone wish that they hadn't. Be with other people. Be with people that you want to be with. But don't sit and wait for people to invite you, because they may not know what you need, and they may wonder if you really want to be invited. Let people know. Plan ahead. Maybe there's a week or two as you're watching this, and what would you like to do? And then let people know your agenda. Let people know what would be meaningful for you. So here's my statement. Act rather than react. Take the initiative. Let people know what you need. And my fifth suggestion is simply to relive the memories. Because grief invites us to remember, not to forget. I remember a family, they were leaving to go for Christmas dinner with Grandma, and somebody said, now for goodness sake, don't mention Grandpa's name. Grandpa had passed away, and don't mention his name because Grandma will just get upset. Well, guess what? Grandma was upset because nobody mentioned his name, because we don't want our loved ones to be forgotten. And trust me, it's on everyone's mind. So relive the memories, not just the memories of the death, which can be difficult, but the memories of the life. You remember previous holiday seasons. Remember that funny time when this happened, or remember that holiday when we went here or there. The memories of the life can put the memories of the death in a context. We have to put the memories of the death into the context of the memories of the life. They lived as well as died, but it's the life that is important. So I've made a Christmas list. And this is my Christmas list for you. It's a gift for each of the 12 days of Christmas. And I promise you there's not a partridge in a pear tree in any one of them. But here are a few gifts that you can give to yourself to make this a meaningful Christmas. Do the things that are important and special for you. This is about you this year. It should be about you. You've had a loss. You've been through a difficult and dark time. So it's about you. So do the things that are important and special for you. And secondly, do whatever is meaningful for you. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. People understand. Leave the words ought and should right out of your vocabulary. Let it go. Fourthly, make the best of your situation. Sometimes the temptation is that we can spend so much time grieving what we've lost that we fail to appreciate what we still have. And while you've had an enormous loss, and take nothing away from that, are there other people kids and grandkids and other people that you love and that love you, that you can see and be part of their festive activities. Fifthly, take responsibility for your own happiness. Don't wait for someone to come riding in on a white charger to rescue you. Let people know what you need. Sixthly, I think this is important, make the season special for any children who are involved. You know, kids need a Christmas. My grandma died when I was 9, and she died on Christmas Eve. And obviously that Christmas was a washout for us because we were arranging a funeral for her, and my mum was upset because her mum had died. But every Christmas after that, my mum never put up a Christmas tree or decorated the house. Oh, my sister and I never suffered. There were always gifts and so on, but it was never quite the same. But here's why children need a special Christmas. Because it helps them to know that even though the family suffered a tremendous loss, that life is going to go on. And that gives them a sense of security and safety, which is very important. Find creative ways of memorializing the person. Light a candle at the festive dinner. Now, is that easy? No, it can be emotional, and there may be some tears, but you're commemorating the fact that they were here. You're acknowledging what everybody's thinking about. So light a candle. Yes, there may be a few tears, but then somebody's going to break the silence by saying, you know, I remember the time when he or they did this, and then people will laugh and it'll break the tension. Celebrate the person's life, as well as acknowledging their death. Both are important. Take time to share special stories or memories. Focus on the happy memories, not regrets or sad ones. Suggestion 10, believe that there are reasons to go on, even though you may not see what they are right now. That's important. That there is a future, that you still have a life. Believe in yourself, that your determination is going to help get you through this. And finally, believe in a brighter tomorrow. That no matter how difficult your circumstances, that life is important. We only have one life, and life is a gift. And that life can still be meaningful and hold possibilities beyond even your bravest dreams. So, let's do something together. I'm going to ask my friend Rachel to come and help me with lighting a taper. Thank you very much, Rachel. I'm going to ask you, would you do something with me? Let's light a candle together. There we are. Thank you very much, Rachel. I appreciate it. Now, let this candle symbolize two things. Firstly, let it represent your loved one. Whether you want it to represent their presence or their absence. My son Steve died 3 years ago, and we light a candle at the Christmas table because we miss him. And I prefer to think of it as a candle symbolizing his presence, because even though he's not with us physically, he's right here. But whatever, just to remember your loved one. But there's something else. Light the candle for yourself. Let that flickering flame be the hope that you're going to make it through this dark and difficult experience. You see, there's not enough light, there's not enough darkness. Let me get this straight. There's not enough darkness in the universe to extinguish even the light of one single candle. So let this candle be a symbol of hope. Hope that you're going to make it through. Hope that there will be better Christmases. Hope that even though you may feel like your life has ended, that you will survive. You will make it through this dark and difficult experience. Oh, people talk a lot about hope. But you know what hope is? Hope is the expectation that good is yet to come. I like that. I hope you'll hold on to that hope. I hope the candle will symbolize it, that there is good yet to come, even though you're going through a very difficult time in your life. And so as Tiny Tim of Christmas Carol fame said, "God bless us, everyone." Thank you.